Hey, good afternoon everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make honey Dijon chicken. This is a really easy recipe to make. You only need a few things for it. You need 12 boneless, skinless chicken thighs, or you can use less if you want. You need a half a cup each of honey and Dijon mustard. You need a 2-quart oven-safe dish. I use glass. I prefer glass over metal for this because of the mustard. And you need some tin foil for a cover and just a mixing bowl and a spoon to make the sauce. So first thing to do is set the oven to 350 Fahrenheit. And while that's heating up, I'm going to make the lid for the dish. Okay, so the reason you need a lid for this is that it makes it just so much easier, considering it's a sweet sauce, that it doesn't stick to the tin foil. So what you do is get yourself a roll. Now I'm using a square dish. If you're using a long one, obviously use a wider length of tin foil. The 1 foot is enough for this. So just kind of eyeball it over to make it long enough that you'll have some handle room. And then just square it up on the dish and push down. Just take that off lightly, turn it over, set it back over it, and just kind of turn the handles down. Now this is not a perfect seal by any means. What it does though is prevent the sauce from sticking, and it gives it room that the vapor can condense and go back down into the chicken, which is what you want as well. So just take that off and put it to the side for now. Get the sauce ready. As I said, this is not precise measurements. You can adjust this to taste if you like a bit more honey, or a bit more mustard, or a bit more sauce. And just give that a good stir. I always kind of laugh when I see honey Dijon sauce in the stores in these little bottles at high prices when this is all you have to do. But oh well, there is no chemicals in this one, so I guess that's what you're paying for. And the bottle. I use 12 because they come usually in packs of 6 like this. If you want to get one of those like big packs, go ahead. You can adjust it to how many you need, how much sauce you want to make once you get used to this. Now, I get the boneless, skinless because you don't have to do anything to them. I don't even trim them because the little bit of fat on the side is going to be just enough to add flavor to the sauce. Just pour the sauce over the chicken thighs. And get your lid. You just put that on. Don't worry about tightening it up too much on the sides. Just be sure that you'll be able to get it off easily when you take it out of the oven. Because you're going to be keeping some tongs or whatever on the side to turn the pieces and mix up the sauce a bit. That's been in for about 20 minutes. So let's take the lid off briefly. Yeah, hasn't really, you can see the chicken starting to cook slightly. but it hasn't started to bubble up or anything. So this is why you want to just get it turned over. Now the lid will have cooled off right away. Just careful, don't squeeze it too hard on the glass because the glass will be hot. Just put your mitts on for that. And take a look at it again in another 15 minutes or so. It's another 15 minutes, total in the oven for half an hour. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. It hasn't started quite bubbling totally yet, but the chicken is just about cooked. So I figure, and you can see the sauce bubbling at the sides a little bit. So I figure another 15 minutes in there and should be okay. That's smelling pretty good, so I'm going to guess it's going to be done fairly soon. Let's see how it looks. This is another 15. Yep. Let's try to get a zoom in here. You'll notice that the sauce is starting to brown up the side here, and it is at full boil. Now this is where you get down to personal preference, okay? Some people will want to brown the chicken pieces. If you do want to do that, just leave the lid off. But the downside of that is that you gotta really watch it, because the sauce will dry off fairly quickly without the lid on, and then it'll burn, and it's not really good that way. So to take the middle road, what I think I will do is put the lid on lightly again and just come back in 10 minutes or so. Now you can see here that the chicken, just by the texture, the chicken thighs are fully cooked, and I'm making rice with this, so I do want a fair amount of sauce for the rice, but we'll give it one more go for 10 or 12 minutes and then take a look. So this is the last go around with the lid on. See what we got here. Oh yeah. Well, that's looking nice, and there's not too much sauce lost. So you'll notice the little tips are starting to brown a bit on the sides. So what I am going to do is just turn the heat down. I got a bit of stuff to do before dinner, and I'll just turn the heat down basically to warm, and just let this simmer in the oven uncovered. You can see how nicely the chicken is browned up, uncovered in the oven. And there's still a fair amount of sauce. Now, one thing I didn't mention to you, you don't have to have this as a dinner course. If you want, what you can do, if you're having a buffet lunch or something, you can take the thighs out and cut them into smaller pieces and stand them up back in the sauce with toothpicks in for a hot appetizer, which is quite nice too. So there is my honey Dijon chicken. It does take a little while to make in the oven, but it's one of those things that you basically put in and forget about it and check on it 2 or 3 times and you're done. So I do hope you like the recipe, and I hope you try it and see it again.